We're here today for the first part of a three-part series about how to learn another language. So what is the purpose of this series? The first is that we're going to talk about a mindset for success. How to succeed in your language learning. The second thing that we'll talk about in the second part of the series, we'll go over some basic points about learning languages, how languages are learned, what we know from research, what you should know about how languages are learned, because a lot of people have kind of some misconceptions or some ideas that they have developed during their time in school by learning things other than languages. And it turns out that learning languages and learning other things, those are two very different processes. And so we'll talk about that in the second part of the series. And then in the third and final part, we're going to talk about some ideas, some specific things and activities that you can do for gaining your ability in another language. Probably most of you that are watching this video are interested in learning Japanese. Maybe many of you are my students, but there may be other people that have come from an internet search and that are interested in learning languages other than Japanese. And this is not language specific. It will work and is valid and is relevant to any language that you might want to learn. So let's jump in and talk about mindset, first of all, and kind of things that will set us up for success. You may have heard these terms before. Recently, there has been research done by a researcher named Carol Dweck at Stanford University. And she and her fellow researchers found that there are kind of two opposing ways of thinking that many people have when they're trying to learn something or gain a new skill. One is a growth mindset, and another is a fixed mindset. So first of all, let's talk about a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset, let me get out of the way so you can see. A fixed mindset basically is the idea that some people have that intelligence and abilities do not change. They're fixed. They can't be improved. It's just something that you're born with, and that's just the way you are. People with a fixed mindset also tend to refuse to take on challenges. And also they fear that they might appear unintelligent to others. So they don't want to take on challenges. Now, people with a fixed mindset tend to kind of tell themselves, I'm not smart, it's too hard, I can't do it. I don't have the ability. That's just not who I am. Now, in opposition to a fixed mindset, we have a growth mindset. People that choose to have a growth mindset. These are choices. Again, they're choices. You can choose to have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. People that choose to have a growth mindset see intelligence and ability as something that can be developed through effort. It's not something that is static, something that stays the same, that is always the same. It's something that can change and improve. People with a growth mindset also seek ways to challenge themselves and improve their abilities. Challenges don't scare them. They choose not to let challenges scare them because they know that through challenges, through overcoming challenges, that they can grow. That's what learning is all about. Also, people with a growth mindset learn from setbacks, and they are resilient. So if things don't go as well as they had hoped, they learn from that. They don't let their failures stop them from continuing to try. And so they learn from that. And people with a growth mindset tell themselves things like, I can learn, not as opposed to a fixed mindset where people say, I'm not smart. Growth mindset people would think to themselves, maybe I don't have the knowledge or the ability now, but I can learn. I can overcome challenges. I can try and improve. Okay, so now for learning in the specific context of learning a new language, it will be very beneficial to you if you will try to develop a growth mindset. It may take some effort. You might find yourself thinking these kind of fixed mindset ideas, I'm not smart, it's too hard. If you can catch yourself and actually change what you're thinking. So if you find yourself thinking, I'm not smart, then say, no, it's not that I'm not smart. I can learn. I may not have the knowledge that I need now, but I can learn. So if you can stop yourself, you can catch yourself and try to change your thinking to a growth mindset, this will become a habit for you, and it will be very, very beneficial for you in learning a new language. Now, as part of a growth mindset, we probably want to have some goals, right? If we think that we can learn and improve, then it helps to have goals. And goals are very important. And it's important to have specific goals. Not just I want to, be fluent in Japanese, but maybe something like more specific, like I want to be able to have a conversation in Japanese with my Japanese friend by the end of the year, right? I want to be able to have a 20-minute conversation. So that might be a good goal to work on. It's much more specific than just, I want to be fluent in Japanese. One kind of catch or problem with goals, though, is that when people have goals and they reach those goals, then sometimes people fall into the trap of like thinking, then what now? They might lose momentum, or they might feel satisfied, right? They might feel satisfied with what they have done and then quit trying. Okay, so this this can be kind of a dangerous thing, especially for learning a new language, because learning a new language is something that takes time. In addition to goals, in addition to kind of this place that you're aiming for, that you're trying to reach this this goal, it can be much more important to focus on who you are becoming. Who do you want to become? What kind of person do you want to become? So this has to do with identity, right? If you want to have an identity, for example, as a multilingual person, right? This is who I want to be. I want to be a multilingual person. And so that means that every day you're going to do some habits, some small things that multilingual people do That's what I would identify you as a multilingual person. So what kind of habits might a multilingual person have? Maybe something like listening to a podcast, listening to things in the language, reading a story or a book or an article, watching a show or a movie, right? In the language that you're working on, reviewing some phrases or some vocabulary, or maybe listening to music in the language, talking with somebody, or even talking with yourself or with a computer. Now there are, artificial intelligence platforms that you can use and actually have a real conversation with your computer. And there, obviously the list could go on and on. But as you do these little habits every day, just a little at a time, and make this your daily practice, then it's like you're putting in a vote for yourself every day to become a multilingual person. Okay, so this is something that is like a daily process of becoming somebody. It's not a goal like where you reach the goal and then it's over, but it's something that is an ongoing process of becoming and changing for the better. Okay, so that wraps it up for our first part of this three-part series. Again, we have talked about mindset for success, and I have encouraged you to develop, to become aware of how you think and how you talk to yourself, and try to change that to a growth mindset. And we have also talked about the idea of not only having goals, specific goals, but also of beginning to develop small habits that you do every day that will help you to develop an identity into the person that you want to become as a multilingual person. So in the next part of the series, the next installment, we're going to talk about specifically what we know from research about how languages are learned, how languages are acquired. I think that will be very beneficial for you as somebody that wants to become a multilingual person.